Hey, what's up, YouTube? Okay, so, well, I've got Max here, and I finally got my temperature sensors in. As you can see, this is the temperature sensor that you can buy from Spektrum. I'll put a link to the part numbers down below if y'all have ever wanted to know how to get telemetry back to your Spektrum radios. It's honestly not that hard. The hardest part is going to be how to mount my RPM sensor. But that being said, so I'm going to rotate this around so it's kind of readable a little bit. I don't know if you can see this or not. So on this particular receiver, 6-channel receiver, all right? So you've got RPM, you got X bus right there. I'm not really sure what the X bus is for. I haven't quite figured that one out. And then let me move this around a little bit here. This little tag. Bear with me. I'll move it. So get this out of the way. Okay, so you got a temp spot, an RPM spot, and you've got a voltage spot. So the voltage is for measuring your actual battery pack voltage if you've got an electric car. X bus, like I said, I'm not really sure what it's for, but the actual RPM sensor is one that you can buy from Spektrum. It's actually intended for airplanes. Mounts on the back of at least some nitro airplane engines that have the mount in the back. Well, it actually works really well for your vehicle if you've got a gasoline powered fifth scale. So right now I'm just testing, so I've got it kind of taped. Now I don't know if you can kind of see it, but it's right up next to where, if you rotate this around, where your flywheel is. See, this is your flywheel, and it spins, but it's also got a set of magnets that engage your magneto over here to provide spark to your spark plug, or if you want to call it a magneto, I guess that's exactly what it is. So what it does, it's surprising to me, the actual sensor is magnetic as well. My guess is it detects a metal pin as it rotates on the crankshaft. That pin rotates around, and when it goes by, it registers as a revolution. So this sensor detects the rotation of the magnet that's on the flywheel. It's kind of like the Fly Sky I had, but the sensor is a little bit different. Not really sure exactly what the technology within the sensor is. Spektrum's not very forthcoming. I even got a reply back from their tech support at Horizon's Hobby, and they said that the telemetry for temperature and RPM for larger scale vehicles never really took off, and it's never really migrated over. I really don't know how that's even possible, because this sensor flipping works, and I'll show you how it works. So this is how I've got it kind of temporarily wired in. It's just for testing purposes. So give me a second. I'm going to pause this. I'm going to get the radio, and I'm going to get Max kind of started up here, and I'll show you while Max is running how I've got it configured. It's kind of an unconventional configuration, but it works, and I'm not really sure exactly why it works, but it does. So bear with me. Hold on one second. All right, so as you can see, Max is fully operational. All right. So now, what I'm going to show you is I've got full RPM, temp, everything, and that's exactly where it was registering on the Fly Sky, about 2,800 or so. So I'm going to pause this. I'm going to kill it. As you can see, my lab, he's kind of doing his thing over there. So, as you can see, I had full telemetry. Now, this is what I'm going to do, is I'm going to show you how I've got it configured. Bear with me, this is kind of one-handed stuff. Alright. Okay. Telemetry. I want to scroll down. Oops. So as you can see, I've got speed and RPM. I've got it set to RPM. This is in your telemetry settings. Sensor type. It's not standard. It's for brushless. My guess is brushless detects the magnet's rotation around on a brushless motor. So, with that thinking, there are no poles on this, but you have options of pole count, anywhere from none, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. Let's select none. And that's how I get it to register RPM. Now, go back to dashboard. Oops. And right now it's registering 0 as the max. The thing I like about this is that it will register or keep a log of your min and max, so you can keep kind of a track of how your engine performed while you were running it, especially if you're trying to tune it, if you're really looking for maximum RPMs or something of that sort. You can kind of keep track of this. Now, granted, it doesn't keep a data log or anything like that, but it does keep track of your minimums and your maximums. So anyway, I was hoping that the sensor, this aircraft sensor for RPM, would work to detect the magnet's rotational, orientation in relation to the sensor for RPM. And wouldn't you know, it works. So for those of you that are wondering how the hell you're going to get RPM telemetry, there's a way. Now comes the tricky part of figuring out how I'm going to actually mount it. So that's the next step. Anyway, we'll catch y'all guys later. Everybody have a blessed weekend, and stay safe, man. Bye.